much nicer. Hello.
There, I got good news and bad news.
What's the good news?
So the good news is I have a spare graphics card.
What's the bad news?
My good graphics card died. I went from a RX 570 to a GT 710.
Good third main. Is it actually gonna?
So I'm gonna
Yeah, it
update my
does.
drivers, and then I'm gonna hop on and see what happens.
So you told me you'd realize something about why the railgun does what it does for graphics.
Wait,
I mean, what?
drivers, graphics, what now?
I mean, sorry, my mind had split for a moment. You told me you'd realized why the railgun did so much damage.
Yeah, I know the reason.
Why?
But the question is, should I tell you?
You should, because I have a maxed out railgun too now. This is an
That
arms
doesn't change
race.
anything to me.
Why won't it do anything to you?
Because I have immersive tech.
So what? You're telling me you can make a body shield that'll protect you?
Yep. Here's the thing with immersive and mechanism. You know how mechanism has an armored suit, right?
Yeah.
I made armor-piercing rounds.
Gotcha.
I realized that after I had shot you with it, that they're armor-piercing.
That makes sense then. They just ignore the armor and go straight for the player.
Yeah.
See, personally, I'm working on the process of manufacturing Wolfsbane rounds for my the turret system.
Yeah, you going with the immersive turret system?
Yep. I'm setting up several of them. They're all gonna have Wolfbane, so they're essentially gonna be little Hydra turrets. Hydra
Alright,
rocket
just
pods.
make sure you don't use chemical throwers.
Nope, I'm using guns because that's what it takes to fire Wolfbane's rounds.
Yes. Also, if you could avoid from smacking or coming over here and hitting me, because now with my GT 710, I'm gonna be averaging like 12 FPS.
So what I'm saying is now's a great time to test out my new fully maxed out steel rod firing railgun.
I mean, that would be an ass move because I can't do anything.
I'm not saying I will, I'm just saying I had the idea.
Yeah, it is possible, but I would die from it considering the fact that I don't have good armor. Alright, but yeah, I'm gonna start cutting in and out because I'm updating drivers. I'll be back in like 15-20 minutes, and then I'll try and hop on the server and see what happens.
Okay, I also need circuit boards. One insulated glass, check. Copper sheet, check. A vacuum, not check. Do have a couple extras though. Sorry, a friend of mine is falling in love right now, and it's a really cool kind of love, and they're not sure how to deal with it. It's kind of fun to watch. It's like, wait, what? This is actually going really well, and I'm used to things like this going horribly. I'm not emotionally prepared for when they go well. Okay. Should be turret 1 ready to come online. The only question now is where to place it. This seems like a good spot. I need to run. We're gonna take this thing down a couple steps. Hello? Alright, chat, my mouse may have just died on me. Give me a moment here. Looks like we're gonna have to plug this in. And sit here looking at this. And we're gonna have to charge our mouse. So, how are your all's nights going? Wait, I can't see chat because there's a Monster Cat window in the way, but I can't move it. Huh. Alright, it seems I've thoroughly screwed myself in my ability to make content by not charging my mouse enough. Looks like we're gonna be here for a moment. Or several moments. I mean, we can still walk around. We just can't rotate or interact with anything. Just gonna have to chill and wait. Just sitting here waiting on my mouse to charge, 'cause it died on me. Didn't even get a notification that it was low. All right, so while we're waiting on things to do, I'm going to tell you how the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand directly led to the cancellation of the Ellen DeGeneres show. So this is gonna push our little whiteboard here to the limits. So first, number one here, we have the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand by Serbian anarchists looking for independence. This event, due to the massive network of crisscrossing alliances in Europe and also the large buildup of military might by colonial powers and a want to test the new forms of weapons, leads directly to World War II. Due to the loss of life and manpower, and basically the wiping out of a European generation, after World War II, a lot of Europe goes into a large downswing, and especially Germany with the harsh reparations they're forced to pay off. This leads to an environment where Mr. Schmittler, which we're going to call him so we don't get Twitch mad at us, forms the National Socialist Party, which assumes power and begins to remilitarize Germany. Now, in the remilitarization process, they start swallowing up other countries here and there, and begin the big bad H and the extermination of a lot of different people. We're not going to say anything directly because, again, we don't want Twitch to be upset with us. Now, due to the results and actions of World War II, it was deemed that the Israeli people deserved a homeland again. So in 1948, Israel was created, and the Palestinian people were forced out of their homes, land given to Israel. Now, this led later on down the line to the Palestinian uprising in the 6 Days War, which was largely seen as both the rise and fall of Arab nationalism. Now, after the rise and fall of Arab nationalism, you see a lot of people, and especially a lot of people looking for either independence from colonial powers or the destruction of colonial settlers, start to head towards Islamic extremist movements. Now, these movements, being funded by the U.S. government and the war against the Soviets in Afghanistan, led to the creation, basically long-term, of groups like the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. Now, Al-Qaeda caused 9/11. Now, in 9/11, there was this guy who witnessed it, I believe, from the Staten Island ferry, and his name was Gerard Way. And this event later inspired Gerard Way to go on and form the band My Chemical Romance. Now, My Chemical Romance directly inspired the Twilight novels. Don't know exactly how, don't know the specifics of that. But because it inspired the Twilight novels, you get the beginning writing of a fan fiction. Now, this fanfic evolves over time and eventually becomes 50 Shades of Grey. Now, this fanfic then turned legitimate story, turned movie, gets an actress onto the Ellen DeGeneres show. And Ellen's trying to give her a really hard time, and the actress largely shuts it down, which begins the conversation here. We need 16's the Ellen DeGeneres show. This begins a conversation about, the kind of toxic environment that Ellen tends to create for people coming in, especially on their first times. And then this leads to the beginning of that discussion leads to the revelation of the really toxic workplace culture, which 19 steps in total here leads to the cancellation of the Ellen DeGeneres show. So as you can see, there's a direct historical line between the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand to the cancellation of the Ellen DeGeneres show. And if I had a larger whiteboard, I think I could reasonably cast this all the way back to the American Revolution. But that one would take some more stretches and some more explanation, and I would need a much larger whiteboard to fit all of that. But I'm proud of that explanation. I wish I could see if you guys were saying anything in chat, but I can't because there's a window blocking chat, and I can't move it because we're waiting on my mouse to charge. My mouse is dead and we're sitting here. What other weird historical things could I explain for the fun of it? Ooh! I saw a TikTok today, and I'll explain my take on it. So the question is, who would win, the USS Iowa or the entire Spanish Armada? Now I'm going to have to do a little bit of Googling here, but I already know my answer because I have my reasons. Alright, so it's 100 ships. About 150 ships. So, chat, I've just noticed that the audio for stream had crashed, which means I think you guys missed my entire explanation of how the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand directly caused the cancellation
Oh,
of
I
the
was
Ellen
trying to
show.
figure out why I couldn't hear your stream. I thought it was my end.
Nope, it was me, which means you guys missed both that discourse and the discourse of how the USS Iowa could definitely defeat the Spanish Armada in any context.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear anything of that.
That's very disappointing because I spent the better part of 20 to 30 minutes discussing those two topics. Which, and if I had a larger whiteboard, I could show you guys how the, I'd be able to show you guys how you can directly link the French-Indian War to the cancellation of the Ellen show, but again, I need a larger whiteboard for that. Alright,
Alright,
hey, if we cast our collective...
GT710 can handle this.
Actually, if we cast that even further back, we can, the capturing of, Constantinople, now Istanbul, by the Ottoman Turks, I feel like is the main point you could trace that back to, because that was the beginning of European colonial aspirations due to the fact that they no longer had an easy land trade route. That was controlled by what they consider a Western power. So that's the real point you could trace it back to.
Jay?
Yeah.
I'm getting more FPS than I did with my RX 570.
That's not great.
My RX 570 has another power cable to it because it requires more power than the motherboard can supply.
Yeah.
And it's a 4GB card. This one here has a fan that's the size of like 2 nickels. It takes power from the motherboard, and it's a 2GB card, and I'm getting more FPS.
That's not a good sign, but maybe it's just because your system can work more efficiently with that one. Have you considered the fact that you may have been bottlenecking?
Everything on my system is epic, besides my graphics card.
Gotcha.
I think it's because I'm in my bunker, just how much I'm
Gotcha.
around.
Hey, you should let me in.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going good. Wait, this has power. What do you... Why was there entity?
I don't know. So let's see how much a railgun hurts you.
A lot.
Why'd you move?
Well, I can. Wow, it's been down to 4 hearts.
Good to know.
It wasn't that. Where the frick did all the entities come from?
I don't know. Was it this system?
No, this one here, even the chest is empty. We have power.
And I have no clue. Because my base doesn't do anything that would generate that many. And it only happened when you loaded in, so I assume it's your base.
That is weird.
That is kind of weird.
So, you tried that on me. Can I try one thing on you? It should be weaker.
You already tried your railgun.
That's true. I want to try my revolver, though.
Hey.
It's a revolver, it should theoretically be weaker.
Theoretically. Depends on what rounds you're firing.
There's still armor piercing, but it's a revolver. It's not a high-powered sniper from 1 foot away.
See,
Wow,
personally, I'm beginning to armor. The bear's taking radiation damage. That's a shame.
Radiation damage? What what's radiated? You radiated still?
I irradiated a section of the autumnal forest here because I could.
Okay. You mean the forest right by my house?
No, the one right by my house. It's far enough away that you can see the radiation from my house, but not close enough that my house itself is irradiated. It's the perfect distance.
Alright, good to know. I feel like now that my graphics card died, something else on my computer is going to die.
What? How did your graphics card die?
It's old. It was getting old.
Gotcha.
The whole bunch of chips on the back, because it got so hot, just fell off, and then it fried the motherboard, and the whole thing got fucked.
Gotcha.
Oh, we've been getting a horrible ping for some reason. Not even that bad of ping, but it's awful. You're breaking a block 4 times before it has to actually break. Anyways, my graphics card is already struggling to run the game. Running Discord, making it worse. So, shoot me a message if you
Gotcha.
need anything.
I am back. Yeah, so I didn't realize that when your notification hit that it crashed audio for the stream, which means that you guys missed out on a lot of stuff that I said that I gave important historical discourse on how the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand directly led to the cancellation of the Ellen Show. And then also I explained how the USS Iowa would definitely defeat the entire Spanish Armada by itself. Okay. So down the line, we can automate casing disposal. Right now, I don't have enough rounds to make that a consideration or a concern. Right now, we're just working through on getting all the turrets built. Oh, not the Kim thrower turret. I need gun turret. So what do I need? I need all those components again. Hey Jemima, welcome back to the stream. How you doing tonight? Boom. Boom. Yeah, we've got a much higher amount of uraninite, which is good. Keep those reactors running. so I need to make more circuit boards here. I'm also gonna go ahead. See, because I need enough for 3 more turrets, so we're gonna make those. I have enough of those, and we need 2 more turntables. Go ahead. 2 more extended mags, which of course don't stack. Why would they stack? 2 more precision scopes here. What else do we need? We're gonna need more turntables, which are a pain in the butt to make. And we're gonna go ahead. We'll take this copper ingot, take it up, stack here. We'll take it over. We'll throw it in the wire press here. We got more in there. I worked a little more on setting up more automation like this off stream, just because it's boring, repetitive process that we've already done before, so I wasn't concerned like you guys are gonna feel like you missed out on much. I also set up these cactus cloches here just as a way to be able to get green dye, which you need to make parts for the circuit board. Okay, now we're gonna take that there, surround it, those. Where's the turntable? There it is. Three of those. Next, we're gonna need copper wire, redstone, nickel plate. I think we still have some nickel plate lying around from last time we needed some. I may also not have made it in bulk, which I don't know if I did. So what we'll do, we'll take half a stack here and have that all turned into plate. Yeah, this machine here. This one here, for those of you who missed yesterday's stream, it processes watermelons. A lot of watermelons made by this farm here. All these watermelons are down the road going to be fermented to be made, let's see, because we need to make those into plant oil to make biodiesel. We get that by squeezing things in an industrial squeezer. For that, you need to squeeze seeds. There's a way to make fuel. I just remember I needed to ferment something for something. Oh, for ethanol, I think. Yeah. Which is also, I think, a viable fuel source. There's a way we could orient these towards the production of seeds, but we can just do that with the melon slices themselves and a crafting table too. Convenient. Okay, there's all my nickel plates. Is the SMP open? Yes and no. So the SMP is open on a case-by-case basis for other streamers, and then it's also open to people who subscribe to myself, or people who donate $5 or more to myself or Brave Breaks Games, or give 1,000 bits or more. And that's just to help us cover hosting costs with the SMP. And that's on a mildly case-by-case basis as well, just because we've had some weird people around the server in the past, but most people we let in with no problem.